ghosts, mere mortals, to the Hidden Creek Manor. So if any of you guys watched our Halloween night video, then you heard me talk at the end about how I was tired. I was burnt out. There was a lot going on this holiday season, and I had the post-Halloween blues. And you guys are awesome as a community, because I had other haunters that reached out that say that they know exactly what I'm going through. They've been through it before. And hopefully some of you that are watching these videos, can know that there are others that get these kind of post-Halloween blues where it's like, what's next? I don't have anything to build. I don't have any ideas. My creative juices have been depleted. So whenever I get kind of feeling like that, I need to be inspired. So this year we decided to check out Lake Hickory Haunts for some inspiration. I feel kind of bad about this because I live very close to Lake Hickory Haunts. It's been going on for, I think, 13 years now, and I've never been. And quite honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I was kind of expecting your typical local haunted house. A lot of times, at least in our area, whether it be like a local fire department or a school, will have a haunted house, and it's a good time, but a lot of the same things. You get chased by a guy with a chainsaw. You might go through like a cornfield maze, and it's like I said, it's a lot of the same things over and over again. So that's kind of what I was expecting. But it's, and also Lake Hickory, it's not a tourist destination. Most of you watching this video probably have no idea where Lake Hickory is, but regardless, it was apparently like North Carolina's #1 haunt attraction, and it's right in our backyard. I didn't even know it. So we decided to check it out this year, and I was blown away, guys. It's on the scale of the local haunted house being run by a fire department to Disney, it's not Disney, but it's definitely much closer to that in quality. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about what I saw and show you guys some video that I took. I'm not going to share the actual haunted trail or house type section. I want to leave that for you guys to discover yourselves. There are walkthrough videos out there, so if you want to watch one of those, go for it. But I just don't want to ruin the magic for any of you guys that want to experience Lake Hickory Haunts yourselves. But what I do want to talk about is what inspired me, what I thought that they did that was really cool. So one of my kind of favorite things about Disney, which is, I know this sounds kind of weird, is the way they have different staging areas. So that way, as you're waiting in line, sometimes you don't even realize that you're still waiting in line. Perfect example, Haunted Mansion. When you go into the stretching room, you're in a staging area before you get onto the actual ride.
Is this haunted room actually stretching? Or is it your imagination?
Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, which is one of my all-time favorite rides, same thing with Haunted Mansion, half of the ride, you're in staging areas. It's brilliant because you're not bored just standing in the queue. You're actually getting to do something and interact with stuff. And Lake Hickory Haunts kind of did the same thing. So you go to the ticket booth, and we pre-order our tickets, and we got our vouchers and everything, and they just text you whenever it's your time to go in. But what's cool is they have almost like staging areas outside. So when you first walk up, it's Lake Hickory. So you have kind of a pirate themed or nautical themed section. You've got just boats with eel tentacles and lights and pirate themed stuff. And there was just all kinds of really cool, like I said, like nautical themed things. And even other stuff was there. Like they had the mystery machine from Scooby-Doo and the Ghostbusters, the Ecto, I think it was the Ecto 2 that was there. We're just going to go with the Ecto 2. But anyway, it kept you occupied. And that's what's really cool. And it keeps you just engaged. You're looking around at all these cool things. And one of my favorite parts, at least in that first staging area, because it was pirate themed, they had a giant pirate ship really high up in the air. And they were doing projection mapping. And you guys know I love projection mapping. So the lady of the manor and I just stood there and watched that for probably 10 minutes. Just because I'm nerding out, she is nerding out, and we're just enjoying the show. So we get through that section, and what's cool is there is a definitely like a clear difference between the pirate area and the next section, because as you walk under the pirate ship, there's like hanging pirate skeletons and corpses, and then you get to this next section, which is just this wide open space with all these cool things to do. They have actors walking around, and tell you guys what, they're actors. I mean, they did great. Their costumes were great. Their makeup was great. Like, this was not your local haunted house at all. Not what I thought I was getting myself into. This was a professional production. But anyway, this next staging area, it was huge. And they had a band playing. They had a place to get food. They had just all kinds of other vendors and stuff there too. They had like a mobile escape room. I think they had axe throwing, some coffin experience. They had like a VIP lounge. And while we're in this area, I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, that's, an animatronic from this place. Oh, they've got that from, Distortions Unlimited. And then I look at the stuff they built. I'm like, oh, that's so cool how they built that. Or look how they corpsed this. So I'm just like I don't want to say like a kid in a candy shop, but I'm geeking out at this point. And, when you are in that staging area, you can kind of hang out, get yourself something to eat and drink while you're waiting. And then like enjoy the band or the entertainment, the actors walking around. But then when I get my text that says, hey, it's your turn to go get in line to walk into the haunted attraction, then we walk down this long path where there were 12-foot skeletons on either side of the path, just, every few feet or so, just tons of them. They even corpse some of their 12-foot skeletons. And I really geeked out over that, because that's something that we haven't done yet that I'm interested in trying, is corpsing skeletons using, basically plastic, but then hair dryer, but hopefully we'll make a video in the future. But anyway, geeking out, 12-foot skeletons, go down this long path, and then we're now in another staging area. So, just in case you get bored with the first one, you don't like the band, you're done with your food, whatever, you can move on to the next staging area. I didn't know that was there. And the next one was more like an old ghost town. They had like an old like skeleton horse, or skeleton of a horse. They had what looked like an old saloon where you could buy like sodas and water. They had like an old jail and just other like just random animatronics or decorations all throughout. It just, once again, just something cool to look at. You walk around, you take it in, and admire what they've done, and then think about how you can use some of those ideas in your own haunt. So very cool. Like I said, like a Wild West ghost town. And then when you finally get to the point where you kind of show them your tickets and you can walk into the haunted area, it's yet another staging area. But this time it's they call it the Nightmare Factory. So as you walk into the Nightmare Factory, that's when you're going to start going through all these different haunted houses and trails that they have. I geeked out at the Nightmare Factory as well, because once again, projection mapping. But this time they had, it looked like electricity going through these pipes, and they had these two like conductors, and it looked like electricity was flowing between them, because they had I don't want to give away the illusion, but they had a clear kind of cloth that the projector would hit and make it look like there's lightning going across or electricity going. And they once again had actors going through the crowd. So even though at this point we were in a queue, we were there for less than 10 minutes, and it was fun. We're looking around at all the cool stuff, and there's actors scaring the crowd, and yeah, it was a really good time. But you're not supposed to take phones on the trail. Like I said, I've seen that there are walkthrough videos on YouTube, but once again, I'm not going to give away anything. I just want to say that it was very cool. It took about an hour to get through the whole thing. There are a lot of different themed areas, which excites me as well. If you don't really have a good theme, or if it's just the same thing the whole time, it gets monotonous. But every few minutes you're in a new section, whether it's a chop shop or a haunted forest or a clown factory or an alien crash sites. It's just every site is something different. And when I go through haunted trails or haunted houses, the way I enjoy it is probably different from most people. Most people are there to get scared, and people jump out at them and they're like, and it's a good time. But I'm there like, I enjoy looking at what they did. I enjoy like, oh, that's cool how they built that, or look how they're using projector to make it look like this over here, or, oh, look how that animatronic popped out, or look how they use lasers or fog. That's what I enjoy. And Lake Hickory Haunts did not disappoint. I was really impressed. They did a little bit of everything. Yeah, like I said, I expected to go in there and be kind of meh, and I was blown away to the point where Lake Hickory Haunts, if you guys are watching this video, I would love to come just learn from you guys. I would put in the work for free if you teach me how to do some of the things that you guys do. I did talk to one guy that said that they built a lot of their props there, that they winterize them, and I'd like to know more about that process. But yeah, very cool, very, very cool, very well done with that, with everything. So yeah, that was my take on Lake Hickory Haunts. If you are ever in the North Carolina area during the haunt season, I would highly recommend checking it out. I was blown away. I was inspired, which is exactly why I went there. So mission accomplished. But that being said, this is probably going to be our last Halloween video, even though we're mid-November. We're going to switch our focus to Christmas. So in probably a couple weeks, expect to start seeing some Christmas videos coming from the Hidden Creek Manor. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, especially if you've been to Lake Hickory Haunts. Tell us about it in the comments. Tell us what you thought. But happy haunting. We'll see you in the next one.
Congratulations. You made it to the end of the video. As a reward for sticking around, you may now watch one of these two videos. The choice is yours, but choose wisely.